How to Speak and Write Correctly by Joseph Devlin. Chapter 3. The Sentence. Different kinds, arrangement of words, and paragraph. A sentence is an assemblage of words so arranged as to convey a determinate sense or meaning. In other words, to express a complete thought or idea. No matter how short, it must contain one finite verb and a subject or agent to direct the action of the verb. Birds fly, fish swim, men walk are sentences. A sentence always contains two parts, something spoken about and something said about it. The word or words indicating what is spoken about form what is called the subject. The word or words indicating what is said about it form what is called the predicate. In the sentences given above, birds, fish, and man are the subjects, while fly, swim, and walk are the predicates. There are three kinds of sentences: simple, compound, and complex. A clause is a separate part of a complex sentence, as when it returns in the last example. A phrase consists of two or more words without a finite verb. Without a finite verb, we cannot affirm anything or convey an idea. Therefore, we have no sentence. Infinitives and participles, which are the infinitive parts of the verb, cannot be predicates. I looking up the street is not a sentence, for it is not a complete action expressed. When we hear such an expression as a dog running along the street, we wait for something more to be added, something more affirmed about the dog, whether he bit or barked or fell dead or was run over. Thus in every sentence there must be a finite verb to limit the subject. When the verb is transitive, that is, when the action cannot happen without affecting something, the thing affected is called the object. Thus, in Cain killed Abel, the action of the killing affected Abel. In the cat has caught a mouse, the mouse is the object of the catching. Arrangement of words in a sentence. Of course, in simple sentences, the natural order of arrangement is subject, verb, and object. In many cases, no other form is possible. Thus, in the sentence, the cat has caught a mouse, we cannot reverse it and say, the mouse has caught a cat, without destroying the meaning. And in any other form of arrangement, such as a mouse, the cat is caught, we feel it that while it is intelligible, it's a poor way of expressing the fact that one which jars upon us, more or less. In longer sentences, however, when there are more words than what are barely necessary for subject, verb, and object, we have greater freedom of arrangement and can so place the words as to give the best effect. The proper place. Never use the past participle for the past tense, nor vice versa. This mistake is a very common one. At every turn we hear he done it, for he did it. The jar was broke instead of broken. He would have went, for he would have gone, etc. The use of the verbs shall and will is a rock upon which even the best speakers come to wreck. They are interchanged recklessly. Their significance changes according as they are used with the first, second, and third person. With the first person, shall is used in direct statement to express a simple future action, as for example, I shall go to the city tomorrow. With the second and third persons, shall is used to express a determination, as you shall go to the city tomorrow, he shall go to the city tomorrow. with the first person will is used in direct statement to express a determination, as I will go to the city tomorrow. With the second and third persons, will is used to express a simple future action. For example, you will go to the city tomorrow. He will go to the city tomorrow. A very old rule regarding the uses of shall and will is thus expressed in a rhyme as follows. In the first person, simply shall foretells. In will, a threat or else a promise dwells. Shall in the second and third does threat. Will simply then foretells the future feat. Rule number 4. Place the adverb as near as possible to the word it modifies. Instead of saying, he walked to the door quickly, say, he walked quickly to the door. Not alone, be careful to distinguish between the nominative and objective cases of the pronouns, but try to avoid ambiguity in the use. The amusing effect of disregarding the reference of pronouns is well illustrated by Burton in the following story of Billy Williams, a comic actor who thus narrates his experience in riding a horse owned by Hamlin, the loose and the periodic. In the loose sentence, the main idea is put first, and then follow the several facts in connection with it. Defoe is an author particularly noted for this kind of sentence. He starts out with a leading declaration to which he adds several attendant connections. For instance, in the opening of the story Robinson Crusoe, we read, I was born in the year 1632 in the city of York, of a good family, though not of that country, my father being a foreigner of Bremen, who settled first at Hull. He got a good estate by merchandise, and leaving off his trade he lived afterward at York, from whence he had married my mother, whose relations were named Robinson, a very good family in the country, from where I was called Robinson Crusoe. And by the usual correct corruption of the words in England, we are now called, we call ourselves and write our name, Crusoe. And so my companions always called me. In the periodic sentence, the main idea comes last and is preceded by a series of relative introductions.